Chicago Bears training camp is only 2 weeks away at this point, so let's talk about some big storylines to watch out for in camp this year. What's going on, guys? I'm back with another Chicago Bears offseason update video, which I'll be doing anytime the Chicago Bears news going on. We have training camp starting in less than 2 weeks. Thank God football is finally back. July 27th is the first day open to the public. I will be there. I actually did get tickets for that day. I did not get tickets for any other day because they ran out of tickets when they were on the website within like 5 or 10 minutes. So Bears fans are super pumped to go to training camp this year. I'm only going to be there for one day because I only got tickets for one day, and also because I have work now too, which, by the way, quick little channel update. I started working this week, like a full big boy job, 40 hours a week, tax accounting in Chicago. So as you guys know, content creation is not always the most lucrative profession. Like, it's very, very hard to make enough money to support yourself financially and support your family only doing YouTube. So I had to get a job, obviously, after college. My degree in college actually was accounting and finance. I just did this channel while in college, so I thought maybe eventually I'll be, full-time YouTuber, but that's not very realistic, obviously, for 99% of people in America. But I'm still very, very thankful to have this channel in the first place, and you guys can still expect a lot of content on this channel with this job. Like, I'll still be making probably the same amount of videos with this job as before this job. The videos just might be out a little bit later because I have work not to go to in the morning, so news videos could be delayed a little bit because of that fact, but it's still going to be a lot of videos out for you guys on this channel. I'll still be doing a lot of Bears stuff. Obviously, be active in the Bears community because I love the Chicago Bears. That's always going to be my #1 passion, no matter what. So basically what I'm trying to say is that I'm not going anywhere. I'll still be on YouTube for a long, long time to come, but I'll just be more busy now off the camera. So I appreciate you guys for understanding that. But with all that being said, let's talk about the Chicago Bears now. Okay, enough talk about my job, my personal life. Let's talk about the Chicago Bears, the thing you guys watch this video for in the first place. And let's talk about 5 big storylines to watch out for in training camp this year. One of the biggest storylines in camp obviously is going to be Justin Fields' growth and development as a passer, which the key word there is passer. We already know how good he is as a runner, but he needs to prove himself as a passer this year for Bears fans and the Bears front office to be comfortable about him being the quarterback for many years to come. Okay, it's a make or break year for QB Justin Fields, and I personally do think he is going to make it, and he is going to be a really good quarterback for the Bears for many years to come. And this year we are going to see him break out as that passer, but that's what Bears fans are going to be tuning into training camp for every single day. Okay, that's going to be the main question asked every single day. Is QB1 getting better in his footwork, in his passing ability, and his ability to read the field better, make quicker decisions? Okay, that's going to be on full display for the Bears fans there, for the media members there, and hopefully we do see great things out of Fields early on in camp. Obviously camp is only practice, and we have seen in the past some Bears quarterbacks look good in camp and not so good in the games, but it still does help to have a great training camp to start out your season on the right note. And he has to get chemistry with some of these new guys. Okay, he doesn't have any chemistry with this offensive line for the most part. Like, we're inserting 2 new guys on the offensive line, Nate Davis and a rookie right tackle, Darnell Wright. We have 2 new receivers, DJ Moore and Tyler Scott. And honestly, you could add Chase Claypool to that number too, because he barely played with Claypool last year. I mean, Claypool got injured some games. Fields also got injured some games. So the two barely played together last year, barely had any snaps together. So if you want that chemistry to get going this year, you have to do well in camp, do well in practice, so it can translate to the real games, hopefully. So a lot to work on in camp for Justin Fields. Hopefully he does start out camp on the right foot and he can take that energy into the regular season. Talking about the second biggest storyline of camp to watch out for, it's going to be looking at which rookies could earn starting spots in their rookie season. I think there's a lot of rookies that do have the chance to earn that starting spot because Eberflus has been pretty upfront about being willing to give chances to younger guys. I mean, last year we played a lot of younger guys after trading guys like Roquan Smith and Robert Quinn because he wanted the young guys to get some playing time, and that could again be the case potentially this year at certain areas. Like, obviously Darnell Wright, the rookie right tackle, I don't think there's going to be much of a competition there because he only has to compete with Larry Borum, who has not been that good for the Bears. So Darnell Wright, I'm pretty sure, is going to be guaranteed a spot. But what about guys like Gervon Dexter? Like, could Gervon Dexter challenge Justin Jones for that starting 3 technique spot? Could a guy like Roschon Johnson challenge Khalil Herbert and Deontay Foreman for that starting running back spot? That's definitely possible. I mean, if you take a look at a guy like Tyreek Stevenson too out of Miami, I think he is expected to be the starter opposite of Jalen Johnson on the outside. So if you go up and down the rookie class, there's a lot of guys that actually could be starting in year 1, which would be fantastic for Ryan Poles' drafting ability, scouting ability. If he has been able to find some guys that already can contribute to the Bears and hopefully contribute to winning. But again, it's going to be a battle. Nobody is guaranteed a spot on this team. That's the way it works in the NFL, especially with the coach like Eberflus. Nobody's going to be guaranteed anything, but we'll see who ends up actually winning those starting spots. The third biggest storyline, I already talked about this a little bit, but is Chase Claypool going to step up? Chase Claypool has been the most talked about, probably the most hated Bears player on this team this entire offseason. I mean, anything this man does, from going out to Paris for a fashion show to helping even kids in the UK, like, he's done a lot of stuff in the offseason. He's been in the spotlight a lot. Obviously not doing anything wrong, just going about his life, but because of how bad of a season he had with the Bears last year, everybody around the NFL, even Bears fans too, have been hating on this guy non-stop the entire year. There's been rumors from Waddle and Sylvie about him not having a good work ethic and the Bears not being happy with him. So I think this training camp is going to be huge for Chase Claypool to shut up a lot of people. If he goes out there, balls out in camp, has a good chemistry, a good connection going with Justin Fields early and often, I think he could shut up a lot of people and get positive momentum going into the regular season. It's going to be a big year for Chase Claypool because obviously it is a contract year for him. His contract is ending at the end of this year, as with Mooney as well. And there are going to be a lot of eyes on him. We also did trade a very high second rounder, pick number 32, for him, which obviously, going back in time, it was impossible to know that pick was going to be pick number 32. But regardless, the Bears are getting hated on for that fact as well, okay, for trading such a high pick for a player that has not really contributed so much. But if he can learn the playbook, if he can get on the same page with Fields and actually provide the Bears with a solid option going down the field, a physically imposing option, which they don't have besides for Claypool. Okay, DJ Moore is obviously a very, very good separator, a good yards after the catch guy. Mooney is a good down the field guy, but we don't have a physical specimen truly like Chase Claypool on the team. If he can be what his ceiling suggests, it could be a very good thing for the Bears offense this year. So definitely keep an eye out for Chase Claypool. The fourth biggest storyline is going to be the battle going on between the cornerbacks on the depth chart. Okay, I think that besides for Jalen Johnson at cornerback number 1, everybody else could be fighting for a starting spot. Like, even a guy like Kyler Gordon, who was drafted pretty highly last year, is he guaranteed a starting spot? Probably not, because we did draft 2 cornerbacks this year, Tyreek Stevenson and Terrell Smith. Now, obviously, Kyler Gordon probably is going to be on the field for many snaps and probably starting in nickel packages because he does factor in to be our best nickel cornerback working on the inside. But who knows? Okay, what if a guy like Terrell Smith, with his speed and his change of direction ability, has an insane camp and challenges for some starting spots? Definitely impossible. I mean, Eberflus has been raving about Terrell Smith in the offseason, talking about how big of a steal he was in the NFL draft. So I think especially like the depth on this team at cornerback, like cornerbacks, 4 to 6 or however many cornerbacks we keep on the team, there's going to be a battle at the end because there are guys like even Kindle Vildor from the last few years who could be on the roster bubble. He could be cut because we do still have guys like Josh Blackwell, like, Jalen Jones, who were UDFAs from last year but performed really well for being UDFAs. So it is going to be a constant battle, probably the deepest position on the roster for the Chicago Bears right now, besides for linebacker. Okay, it's a lot of highly talented players, and we'll see who comes out on top. And then finally, my fifth biggest storyline is going to be what's going to be the pecking order at running back after training camp, because I really don't know how to rank these running backs right now. Like, who's going to be RB1, who's going to be RB2, RB3? Like, I know it's going to be probably a RB by committee type of approach, so it's not going to be a situation where only Khalil Herbert gets like 90% of the carries or only Roschon Johnson gets 90% of the carries. It is going to be a shared backfield, and it could be a situation where Eberflus and Getsy just ride with the hot hand at any given time. Like, if Roschon Johnson's having a good stretch of games, they could just ride with Roschon Johnson for those stretch of games. But who's going to be the RB1, the lead back at the beginning of the season? That's what I want to know. Okay, can Roschon Johnson really separate himself as a pass protector, as a pass catcher, and show to be the all-around back to be RB1? I think that's certainly possible, but I can't really discount Herbert or Foreman either because both of them were so efficient last year. So really talented group of backs we have on this team. Obviously Justin Fields also is a big threat to run with the football, but it's still going to be a pretty run heavy offense this year, right? Even with Justin Fields passing a lot more, because the Shanahan type of scheme does have a lot of running designs, a lot of running plays that are some of the best in the NFL. Okay, we were the best running team in the NFL last year, so we probably still will be top 10, top 15 in rushing attempts, and I want to see how does that pecking order fall. Okay, who's going to be RB1, RB2 an RB3 at the end of camp. So there you have it, guys. Those are my 5 biggest storylines for Bears training camp this year. Obviously, there's a lot more that I missed that I didn't have time to put in this video, but leave your biggest storylines down below. Do you agree with mine? Do you disagree? What else are you going to be looking for in training camp? There's a lot to watch out for because we have so many new players on this team that were added this year through the NFL draft and through the offseason. And by the way, we still could be adding more players because we still have $30 million in cap space, which we do have to spend some of that to meet the salary cap floor. So maybe a guy like Yannick Ngakoue or a backup offensive tackle or, somebody still could be added to this team. So be on the lookout for more videos covering that if that happens. But hope you guys enjoy the video. Have a good weekend. As always, bear down.